Hey guys, Pato here. Thanks for joining us for another video interview here with Metal Ignition. And joining us today is Ryan, lead guitarist, should we say? Guitarist, vocals from House vs Hurricane. Now they're currently on tour with the 40 Deep tour.
Yep.
Running down the East Coast pretty much, and we're about two or three shows into this tour now.
Yeah, I think this is maybe the fourth show.
Well, thanks for gracing us with your presence at the fine Albury here, the home base of Metal Ignition here. So.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
So I wanted to have a bit of a chat about you guys' touring experience in that. I know that the first album, Perspectives, provided you guys the first opportunity to go overseas and play in Europe and UK.
Yep.
How do you think that experience has helped you guys prepare for when you've recently gone over there?
I guess we had a little bit of familiarity with, and we sort of knew what to expect.
Yep.
In terms of the countries we were going to and stuff, but yeah, this tour we've just done over there was a lot different to the first tour. First tour was a lot smaller and a lot more DIY, and whereas this tour we've just come off, we're on a big nightliner bus with bunk beds in it and stuff.
Nice.
We were living the dream for a month there.
Yeah. And come back to poor old little Australia.
Yeah, back in the van again. Yeah.
So, what would you say is the primary difference to playing over there as opposed to Australia? When it comes to the whole touring life.
Well, for the bands, the best thing about playing in Europe is they feed you really well. You get there and there's all this food ready for lunch and stuff, and then you're like, oh, this is so good, how could it get any better? And then they bring out dinner, which is a full home cooked hot meal.
Wow.
So that was awesome.
Yeah.
And the shows themselves are pretty similar, really. A show's really a show no matter where you are, unless you're somewhere crazy, but quite similar to Australia and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
So what has been the most popular song on tour so far? That you would say?
On this tour?
Yeah.
We've been playing a few old songs on this tour, which we haven't played for a long time off our first release, our EP, which a lot of people have been wanting to hear for a while. So we're playing a few older songs, which are going really well, and our first single off the new album, Blood Knuckles, and also Big Trouble has been going really well. So, yeah.
So the video for Blood Knuckles is quite a unique approach to a lyric style video almost, or official video. I guess it's more one between both.
That's right.
Well, how was the experience filming that? And
it was cool. We were in New York doing the album, and we knew we wanted that to be the single, and management and everything wanted it as well. And we were like, cool, we've chosen one, that's good. We're going to do a video for it now. Our label wanted to do a lyric video, and we were like, lyric videos suck. I just find them so lame.
Very similar.
And they're all the same, just with text chucked on the screen. I just don't like it. So we were like, why don't we do a video that has the lyrics in it, but it still has some sort of, it's creative still, but not just a graphic designer sitting on the computer doing it, you know what I mean? So that's where the idea for that came from. We shot it all in one day, all around New York, and it took us about 10 hours or something like that. It took a long time. It was over 3,500
standing around for the long drawn out shots with all the people zooming past you and stuff.
Yeah, well, there's no video in the whole thing. It's all photos put together.
Yeah.
So it's all stop motion. So yeah, I think it was over 3,500 photos or something. For a 3-minute song. So
song it is.
Yeah.
So what do you think is based on the touring life and stuff? It has its ups and downs, obviously. Either equipment or food or travel. How's the tour treated you so far? Has there been any bad experiences on the road so far, or what's the worst thing that's happened to you guys while on tour?
Things always happen that are annoying and stuff like that. You'll get a delayed flight and you have to sleep at the airport, or you know, things like that always happen. You know, it's countless things happen all the time. But you've just gotta not worry about it. You just gotta let it go. And, yeah, let it go and just don't worry about it and focus on positive things, or else you'll be like negative all the time.
I guess some people that don't understand the music think, you know, we're angry people all the time, but we're not really. Well, at least we try and tell ourselves that. So with the album Crooked Teeth, it's found the band without the keyboards and a new frontman. Can you tell me a little bit more about that change?
Yeah, well, basically we parted ways with our keyboard player earlier last year, like at the start of last year. And then shortly after that, our singer decided he didn't want to be in the band anymore, and we sort of had a decision whether we keep going or just stop. And the only reason we kept going is because, like, when he said he was going to leave, all of us in the band thought the same thing, that we wanted Dan to sing, because we'd already been friends for a few years and taken his band out on tour a lot and stuff like that. And we were kind of like, if we can't get him, then we'll just stop. But if he wants to do it, then we'll keep going. So he said yes, and I called him, and he was like, give me a couple of days to think about it, and got back to me. He was like, okay. So we did it.
And went from there. Easy transition.
We went to New York a couple of months later and did the record. Yeah, it's cool.
Nice.
Worked out.
So the album was recorded. Was it in New Jersey or was it New York?
In New Jersey. I just say New York 'cause it's easier.
What led to that?
The producer that we worked with, that's where his studio is. His name's Machine, and his studio called the Machine Shop is in New Jersey. So there was like a bus near us. It was like 20 minutes to the center of Manhattan. So it was only just in New Jersey.
True.
But
not knowing the geography of America.
It's right next to it. Right next to it. So we were there for 7 weeks and did the whole album, and that's what it is.
Yeah, cool. All right. So the lyrics on the album, I'm not sure if you're gonna. Who was responsible for writing a lot of the lyrics?
Mainly, like, me and Dan would talk about, like, or we'd have an idea. One of us would have an idea first, or whatever, about like the direction, and then we wrote our own lyrics. For our own parts. I wrote some for him. He wrote some for me.
Right.
We just kind of co-wrote. Really. But that's how we do it, and that's how we used to do it with Chris as well. When he was singing, we would just do it together, and
so they're pretty
not together like right here, but like we'd talk. You know.
So would it be laid out saying, okay, so we need a chorus for this, you know, Ryan, off you go and write the chorus, or
kind of like we knew, we kind of already would know before talking to each other where we wanted to sing or whatever. Which parts, and it's pretty obvious because I normally sing the choruses and stuff. You know, so but we worked on heaps of different ideas when we were in New York during pre-production and stuff, and had all the songs mapped out.
So the lyrics, they're fairly heartfelt and pretty inspirational in parts, definitely. What do you think? Which song do you think drives the biggest message?
Oh man, put me on the spot here. Can't remember. I don't know. I guess Bare Bones, the last track on the album, is a big track for me because I do the whole thing. And it's kind of more like it's pretty personal, like it's a pretty personal song. So I guess that one for me was probably the most like revealing or whatever.
Cool.
But you know, Big Trouble, I also really like the lyrics on that track, and Promises as well. So I think they've both got really strong lyrics.
And they all carry the similar themes across the album, obviously. And it's what most bands try to do, I suppose. Was that the initial setup that you guys were going for? Yeah,
we've always tried to like instill a positive vibe in our lyrics and music. Although it's like can be dark sounding more times than not, it's a really positive actual message. So we just try and we make sure that it's always positive and always gives like a positive outlook to a situation or a circumstance or whatever.
So here at Metal Ignition, we love our breakdowns. Obviously, is there a favourite breakdown for you?
In our album?
In your album, or anything that you listen to right now?
I don't really listen to that much heavy music, but I really like. I can't tell you a specific breakdown, but I really like Northlane's new album.
Yep.
I think that's really good. But my favourite breakdown on our CD is the one at the end of 40 Deep. It's like a down tune, it's like general, like
yeah, it's quite unique.
That's fun to play.
Yeah, definitely.
We were kind of just like, why not? We'll chuck it in.
Nice.
Yeah.
So going back on the vocal responsibilities and the lyrics and everything, obviously in the last few years it's become more prominent where a lot of hardcore and metal bands have done the setup where a vocalist would be a guitarist or a bassist who would drive the harmony or the melodic side of the songs, and you would have a screamer. Was that what are your thoughts on that in terms of in the industry at the moment and a lot of people going in that direction? And was it a sound that House vs Hurricane always wanted to do from day one, or?
Yeah, we've always had singing and screaming. So we were the original lineup. We were called something else, and in that original singer and me, like I used to do the screaming and he used to do the singing, and we were predominantly singing.
Right.
Like 80 singing, 20 screaming.
Yep.
Kind of when we first started with the old band and stuff, and then we changed it up, and I'd always been able to do both, and he kind of preferred. He like learned how to scream and stuff, and he like preferred to do that, so we just switched.
Yeah.
So I sang and he screamed. And that's since we've been House vs Hurricane, we've always done that and always had singing and screaming in pretty much every song.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So
it's definitely something that's very common at the moment.
That's right. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Do you think it's more common for the Australian bands more so now, like new upcoming Australian bands?
Yeah, I think it's just the way the sort of heavy sound is progressed because like it used to be quite separated. Like there would be bands with singing and there would be bands with screaming.
Yeah, and that was
now it's kind of just joined together.
Yeah.
And like the way the market sort of works at the moment, like you've got to be like crushingly heavy, but then have like a catchy side as well.
Yeah.
And I think that's just a popular sound right now, and just worked out well for us that we'd already been doing it for years.
Sing.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys like to do in your spare time?
We all work at home.
Yep.
I'm a barber. I work at a barber shop, and I play in another band and just play music and
cool.
just skating and stuff.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah.
So, when you go to a show, in either for the supporting acts prior to you guys going on the stage, or if you go to Soundwave or whatever, what do you like to do? Do you like to sit back and just take it in, do a little bit of headbanging, or you're up the front throwing down? What is it that you like to do?
It depends on the band. If it's a band that I've really liked for ages, I'll be all about it. I'll be in there. I'm not too cool with mental. I love it. But if I'm just watching a band that I like and I'm not like fully into, I'll just stand there and watch and clap. That's about it. Just go like this.
Yeah.
Tap on my beer.
Sweet. We like that.
Yeah.
So what's in store for the rest of the year for House vs Hurricane?
We are going back to Europe in about 3.5 weeks, 4 weeks.
Yep.
So we're going back to the UK and Europe. We're doing a festival there called Slam Dunk.
Yep.
And then we're touring with an American band called, I don't know if you know them, they're called Memphis Mayfire.
Memphis Mayfire, yep. So that's got the guys who are pretty happy about that.
Yeah, definitely. So we're doing some shows with them in the UK and in Germany after that. And then we come home and we've got the Prom Queen tour.
Right, that's right.
That.
Yeah.
So I think that just got announced the other day.
Yep. Yeah, cool. Right, excellent.
That's it so far. Yeah.
Sweet. Anything else you want to say?
Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for checking us out.
Make sure you stay tuned to Metal Ignition. Subscribe. We can keep you up to date with some more details of House vs Hurricane. Hit them up on their Facebook as well.